What is up, everyone? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Apple Pencil alternatives. So to start things off, the Apple Pencil is an amazing device, but it does come with a little bit of a cost. It comes with a price tag of $129, which might be a bit steep for some people, especially if you're only using this casually. This can be a pretty big investment for something that you're only going to use once in a while. So the question is, are some of the other options out there usable to a point where you can still do everything you want without too much of a drop-off in quality? Apple will undoubtedly be your best bet if you're looking for the most accurate, most iOS-compatible device, but let's see what else is out there. Enter one of the cheapest options out there, the Stylus Pen. This thing is nowhere near the Apple Pencil price tag, and it slides in at around $30 US, which is roughly 4 times cheaper than the Apple Pencil. You can find this on Amazon branded under a bunch of different names, but to me it seems like they're all mostly the same. They all have the same packaging. It's the same pen. If you go into each item, you'll notice that they all look relatively the same, and they're all branded with Stylus Pen. Not super original. I work at Stylus Pen Incorporated. You'll never guess what we do. So inside this straightforward, to-the-point packaging, you'll find some instructions which look like they were maybe written for a previous generation pen. The charging portion of this references a micro USB. This is obviously a USB-C, and then you've got a small USB-C to USB-A charging cable. They give you one extra pen tip in here as well, although I've seen some ads that come with 3. And there's a cover in here for the end of your pen. The pen itself actually feels pretty solid. The body is aluminum, and it does have a decent weight to it at 13 grams. So it's just a touch lighter than the Apple Pencil. Obviously, visually, this is very similar in design to the Apple Pencil. I'm sure that's not by accident. It also supports the magnetic attachment feature that some iPads have. In my case, it clips to the 4th gen iPad that I have, just like the Apple Pencil would. But unlike the Apple Pencil, this doesn't support wireless charging. There's really not a lot to complain about with a $30 stylus design-wise. To connect this thing is super easy. You just tap the back end of the pen and you get a little blue LED indicator that turns on, and bam, you're off to the races. I didn't have to do anything else to get this working. I was able to just start using it out of the gate, no issues. Same thing to turn this off. You just click the end and it's off. It also has a 5-minute auto shut-off feature if you just leave it on and forget about it, which is a really nice to have. I'm always terrible with stuff like that. The shotgun mic that I reviewed a few weeks back, I've already killed a few batteries because I forgot to turn it off when I was finished. Alright, probably the most important thing here is how well does this thing work? It looks solid and it connects easily, but can it perform well enough to replace your $129 Apple Pencil? I've been using it in notes apps, sketching apps, and for photo editing, and I have found it really useful, especially for photo editing, which is what I'll be using it the most for. The palm rejection seems to work fairly well, but like the Apple Pencil, the results can vary in that area depending on what app you're using. Just small things. I noticed when I was editing a photo in Affinity Photo the other day, while drawing a mask over part of my image, my palm was picked up once, but for the most part, I haven't really had any issues otherwise. I don't really think that there's much difference in that sense. One thing that you may notice if you're using an Apple Pencil frequently or using a pen like this every day, this model doesn't come with pressure sensitivity, which I'm assuming is where some of that cost saving comes in. But you do have tilt functionality with this, so you're getting a similar feature set to the Logitech Crayon. The tilt feature seems to work fairly well also. I've been really surprised at just how well this thing tracks and how accurate it's been. I remember a few years ago, if you tried to buy a pen like this for 30 bucks, you'd be expecting something that technically worked, but it was never really that usable. This thing is really useful. Like I said, if you're looking for something with pressure sensitivity, this will not have that feature, but for a lot of people, that's something that you might not actually need. Final thing that I'll touch on with this pen is the battery. You've got roughly 20 hours working time on a full charge, and it takes around an hour and a half to charge. You'll likely just end up charging this through a USB charger or laptop in most cases, as the cable is just a regular USB-C to USB-A. As I mentioned earlier, another disadvantage here, this won't charge wirelessly like the Apple Pencil will. Again, you do have to make some small sacrifices. I wouldn't expect to pay 4 times less than the Apple Pencil and have this perform exactly the same way and have all the same features. But I will say the core functionality, actually drawing and writing on the tablet, works really well. I've been able to take notes and draw and edit photos without any issues. If you're a huge Apple fan or you do want pressure sensitivity or you're using this in more of a professional setting, then yeah, it probably makes sense to make that jump. But this is still a really great option for most people, especially if you're just using it for note-taking or photo editing. As always, there will be a link in the description if you're interested in grabbing one of these pens. If you've got questions, comments, you want to let the world know your take on this matter, and by golly, your opinion does matter, leave them down below. Give this channel a little boost by hitting that like button and subscribing, and touch that little bell icon to get notified anytime I release new videos. Once again, thank you so much for watching and joining me here today, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.